Hello there, everyone. Happy Friday to you all. Hopefully your day is well. Continuing on with the more spooky games today. The next one in the Trilby series, Trilby's Notes. So we're probably going back in time, because, like, the last game we played, we were, like, in the future. It was, like, after Trilby was gone. So we're probably going back to his MI5? MI6 days? It was one of those two. I don't remember which organization he was in, but yeah. I'm just trying to figure out the volume for you all first. There's a tutorial? Sure, we'll have the tutorial on just in case. The following documents are taken from the handwritten notes of Trilby. Field operative, it's too fast! Game over. Very confusing. It was what I thought as I stood and watched Defoe Manor collapse into flaming ash. Wait, do I actually have control? It might actually... I might have control. It's still so loud. I turned it so, like, super low. The ordeal was over. These 5 days cost us all so much. Philip and AJ paid with their lives. They were the fortunate ones. Jim Fowler was expelled from school for truancy, a bright future in tatters. Simone Taylor took to the bottle. Her broadcast became slurred, her eyes hollow and unwelcoming. She soon vanished from television screens. As for me, I tried to return to life as a cat burglar, but I had been forever tainted by my time spent in that wretched house. The memories of my possession came back in my nightmares. Every night I was there again in the mansion, staring out through unfamiliar eyes as Philip died at my hands. I became convinced that John Defoe was not at rest, that someday he would return for me. I became so terrified of invisible enemies that I forgot about the tangible ones. Daily Herald, Trilby caught in 2 slow, miserable years after Defoe Manor. A barrage of crunch? That doesn't seem like a word to me, but sure. Blows taught me a harsh lesson in reality, and I woke up in the kind of filthy cell I assumed would be my new home. But then he came, the man from the government with his nervous smile, offering an alternative. The STP, the Special Talent Project. It hadn't been that much earlier that I would have sooner died than entered an obligation with anyone, least of all the government. Had Defoe Manor changed me so much? Hey there, Kumi, how goes? Whatever my reasons, I left my past behind and resolved to give my new superiors nothing to complain about. I spent a year and a half completing assignments, developing contacts, building reputation. Yes, I do have a hood on, because this top has a hood attached. And it just looks better, like, with the hood on. Hmm. And then the past caught up. In the summer of 1997, I became concerned about Simone Taylor's mental well being. The papers were reporting her continual breakdown, and she had become a virtual recluse. I had no idea if my appearance would assist or hinder. It had, after all, deliberately allowed her to think me dead. Oh, I had, after all, deliberately allowed her to think me dead. Presumably, she knew differently now, after the media coverage of my arrest, but I would expect her to be bitter about my subterfuge. On balance? That's a weird way to start a sentence, in my opinion. I decided that a meeting with an old friend would most likely be beneficial. I came to her apartment building on a warm, stormy night and braced myself for the encounter. Use the cursor keys to move. Tap once to start moving to give a command, just start typing it, and the text box will appear. Use simple sentences like look around or knock on door. Question mark symbol signifies that the game expects input. When it is visible, you're free to move and issue commands. That's an interesting way to do it. Is that not the door to knock on? How am I not close enough? I knocked sharply upon Simone's door. Press F3 to recall your last command. Is that not her door? I don't think I can. Okay, so yeah, this is the right one. Receiving no reply, I knocked again, louder. Cannot pick that open. Can I knock again? Still no response. The doorman had assured me someone was in. I decided it was time to enter by my own methods. Pestered. Okay, tab or inventory? Lockpicks. Okay, so that's how we do that. Okay. No, I can't just kick down the door. That would be nice. What do you mean I can't just do that? It didn't make sense to me. Lockpick. Pick. I can't even. I couldn't pick it though. Because, like, my cursor doesn't show up. Not unless it's. Am I not close enough? Try things like use lockpick on door. Because, yeah, I put specifically lockpick door. Does it need to be a full sentence? And hey, Roz, how goes? I reasoned that Simone could have been in trouble, and even if she wasn't, then at worst, I was only playing to my reputation. I spent a few minutes feverishly picking the lock, then let myself in. And I'm gonna let you all know I'm either gonna be squinting or like using my screen, the OBS screen, to see what's going on in the game, because this is so much smaller than the last game, and I couldn't put it full screen. Again. I don't know why it wouldn't let me put it full screen. Oh, it's dark in here. Where the fuck am I? Where's the light switch? Light. It's dark in here. Okay, it might be a jump scare incoming. Again, this thing doesn't have any music. Hold on. Open? Couldn't pick that open. Why is it so dark? Is it supposed to be this dark? Open door. Figure out what it was before we. Cause it's fucking dark. Is what's wrong with it. What even is this? There's this blue line here. I moved the cursor. Yeah. Around. I can spell. Simone's bedroom light refused to turn on. I stood in pitch darkness, the intermediate flashes of lightning preventing my eyes from adjusting. Yeah, the light refuses to turn on. I don't have like a flashlight or anything. Hello? I don't understand the word hello. Don't understand the word find. Where am I? Pulled open the blind. Here I am walking around the room when there's a dead body on the ground. You all see that, right? Blinds? What do you mean blinds? Look at body. The body on the floor was undoubtedly Simone. I felt for a pulse, and my hands came away stained with long, cooled blood. Window blinds? Okay. Fingers traced the outline of a large wound in her torso, slashed by a big weapon wielded by a big assailant. Called for an ambulance, as futile as it would be, and left before they arrived. Due to me being a clear murder suspect, I was relieved from duty for the week it took for the Ministry of Occultism to inspect the flat and confirm supernatural activity. My superiors simultaneously apologized and assigned me to investigate if there was a connection to the Defoe Manor incident. Merely reading those 3 words, capitalized on the front of a loosely file, brought the nightmares back with more intensity than ever. Why does it keep resetting what I set the sound to? Calm down, game. Yes, yes it is. Oh, damn it. Characters. You must be usually several things each character is willing to discuss. For example, try typing talk to... Because yeah, there isn't an option here for sound this time. And yeah, it turned it back up in the computer again. Oh my gosh. I don't know why it's not saving it on like my system settings. That's wild to me. Um, fuck. I was talking to myself. Um, fuck. Then talk to one of them about something. I don't know their names though. To ask woman her name. Wom ask woman her name. I feel like I'm gonna hate this one just for how finicky it's gonna be with your questions. I don't know their names. Name. What was that?
Throw a bunch of keywords in.
You-
All it's doing is scanning for keywords.
Who is? It's gonna be angry at me and be like, who? I don't understand the word. Yeah. Look around. Hotel room was pleasant, had apparently been built in the times before ensuite bathrooms. Sofa and bed were competing things. A small desk was provided and television sat on the opposite counter. Look at woman. Shieldon O'Madi struck me as somewhat tomboyish young woman with an unreserved attitude. She was watching me with an odd half smile on her face. Siobhan? Okay. I will try to pronounce it the right way. Because anytime I've definitely seen that name before. Siobhan, but like, I've never actually heard the pronunciation for it. Uh, what? Uh, consider that subject. Who? Oh my gosh. Professor Shahal. He was in the other game. Likeable man, good humored scholar with an old fashioned outlook. For his status, I considered his style of dress eccentric in its casualness. Intense music while we figure out what specific reading teas. I just picked something because I specifically picked instrumentals because I don't really want worded music while playing this game. Ask the hall about Defoe. So I understand you came into possession of artifacts from Defoe Manor. Yes, indeed, and it was astonishing to me that such artifacts existed at all. The whole place burned to the ground. Did you hear about the Defoe Manor incident? I was experiencing a sick feeling that I had not felt for quite some time. Yeah, no, not in game music. It's still the same thing where only certain spots will have music for this game. hmm So we're listening to some Nightwish right now. Nightwish instrumentals. The last I had felt, it was while standing at the gates of another country mansion, not long after Defoe Manor, preparing to break in. Recalling those 5 wretched days turned my stomach with fear, turning what had once been the joy of thievery into an experience in anxiety. Discussing it brought that feeling back, the act of feigning ignorance, while visions of welding masks and machetes flooded my mind's eye, worsened them. I heard something on the news. And it's been on the news again lately since that Taylor woman died. A lot of silly talk about the paranormal has been found, so the true facts are near unreachable. But the point is, some enterprising fellows picked up 1 or 2 undamaged items from the ruins. Furthermore, our furniture, books, an ugly little tribal figurine, and I took them off their hands purely out of curiosity, of course. So, were there any particular items your client is interested in? Ask about a buoyant. Tell me, does a huge man in a welding mask and leather apron mean anything to you? Not really, should it? Never mind. It's a small African figurine that my clients wants me to look into, resembling a rather ugly tribal god. That old thing? Honestly, despite its age, it's virtually valueless. What I said, but my client is very insistent. He's interested in the paranormal, and the idol features in some of the more unlikely accounts of the Defoe Manor incident. Well, I don't suppose I should ask questions if this man of yours wants to take it off my hands. I don't have it on me right now. It's being kept in the hotel safe. Perhaps we can work out a deal after the fair. I had intended to display it with the other Defoe artifacts. Inwardly, I just wanted to get this mission completed as fast as possible, but I didn't want to risk suspicion or giving off the wrong impression. That will be fine. So, just out of interest, what else have you picked up from the mansion? Odds and ends, basically. Some silverware and ceramics, most of a burnt rocking chair, and the painting, of course. Painting. A landscape from a wall in the mansion's lounge. Of little artistic value, but the artist features promising in Defoe's manner colorful history. Matthew Defoe? That's him, yes. Bethan, she runs the hotel. She asked if she could display it in the lobby. Let's see. Instantly, I recalled the sick feeling I had felt in the lobby. I had seen the painting, but had paid it little heed. William Dafoe. Wrong Defoe. If it's the same voice actor I'm thinking of when you're saying William Dafoe, he was in a Ghibli movie, if I remember correctly. Maybe not Ghibli. Juan Dafoe. Oh, are you all right, Mr. What? You've gone rather pale. What? I'm sorry, I was just distracted by my thoughts for a moment. Lost in history, eh? Something like that. What the hell was that? What the hell was what? You were just sitting there when you went all stiff like you'd seen a ghost. You didn't see it? See what, Mr. Railby? I'm sorry, I have to go. Oh, well, we won't keep you then. We'll see you later, maybe? My head was spinning, and a sudden nausea churned in my gut. The world seemed to be pulsating, the corners of the room wavering like a heat haze. Uh-oh. The body is here, the soul is. His body is here, his soul is not. You may say I imagined these things, and I thought that must have been the case. Was I going out of my mind? Was the hotel really changing into some nightmarish twin? Was I the only one who could see it? If I was hallucinating, it was too complex. The harsh wooden floor beneath my feet felt real enough. The horrendous stench of rotting flesh that reached my nostrils could not have been conjured by my imagination. Channeled your inner feline quickly, sought out the nearest carpet to unload John. Yeah, yeah. I decided I had to find John Defoe's idol as soon as possible. If not that, then at least the painting Shahal had mentioned. I was convinced that some connection lay between Defoe Manor and this sudden madness. It's spooky in here. Okay, each door has a cross. This isn't spooky at all. Down the stairs, boy. Run. Except the controls in Omori were way better. The stairwell was built from old concrete, and a thick smell of damp filled the air. There was a headless corpse slumped in the corner. Look at. The body was that of a young, muscular man. Oh, the vibe of the house. Oh, okay. The body was that of a young, muscular man, I hazard, and was wearing some kind of old fashioned military uniform, complete with blue tunic and riding boots. More to the point, his head was missing, and his hands were worn down to bloody wads of flesh and bone. I noticed a collection of handwritten pages on the floor near his body. Look at pages. They appear to be entries from a diary. July 18th. Felicia and I took shelter from the storm in a decrepit old hotel in the forest. It seems to be completely deserted, so we bedded down on the floor of the lobby for the night. It was so peaceful here. The noise of the storm seems far away. July 19th. Exploring the hotel, it has become increasingly clear that the place is not as innocent as it first seemed. We found ancient corpses and evidence of terrible deeds in several of the rooms. The storm has cleared, and we intend to leave as soon as possible. July 20th. I am certain now that devilry is at work. Every path we take through the forest brings us back to the hotel. We spent a whole day trying routes to no avail. Felicia keeps talking of a demon she fancies she saw in the hotel kitchen last night. July 21st. Felicia is dead. I was too late to help her. I saw her murderer, just as she did. Perhaps I will be next. I am beginning to understand. July 23rd. The murderous figure in black, the one whose body is savagely stretched into a mockery of form, is not the architect of this nightmare. Rather, this is the work of that hideous Lord of the Forbidden Lands. God forgive me. July 25th. I built a shrine to my captor in the lobby in an attempt to appease it. Nothing has changed. I have no more food. The horror is starting to affect my mind. July 28th. I am certain my mind is going. I imagined for a moment that the hotel had changed, had become finely decorated and welcoming, as it must have once been in the past. I blinked, and it returned to its normal, hateful self. The next few pages were sprinkled with blood, obscuring some of the text. August 1st. What is his relationship to that disgusting relationship to that disgusting. Is he a servant or a prisoner? Sometimes he acts alone, sometimes at the behest of a higher power. What does he want from me? August 3rd. He is after me now. I think I must have done something wrong. August 4th. It hurts. That was the last readable entry. I decided not to take them with me. They were covered in blood and all stuck together. Cool. The lobby, too, had been tainted, and the painting I sought was absent. Presumably, it only existed in the hotel's normal form. Yeah, this is some fucked up shit we got going on here, Kumi. If that was the case, I needed to find a way back there, or dispel the hallucination if this truly was all in my mind. At this stage, I was beginning to wonder if this really was all John Defoe's doing. It didn't seem his style somehow. What other evil could possibly be the culprit? The entrance room of the alternative Clanwynbrin? Fucking no. Hotel at least retained the basic shape of a lobby. In that the pigeonhole pigeonholes remained and an altar about the right size and shape for a reception counter. Interesting. Open. Oh yeah, I've already seen my inventory. It already talked about that. Look at her. There was some kind of waist-high stone altar on which some poor wretch had underwent some kind of sacrificial ritual. Hmm. What a waste. um, I don't know. It's hard to tell what kind of waste this corpse has, Kumi. I don't know about you. I can't really tell. It feeds. It had probably once been a dining room, judging by the number of tables. There were a total of 4 exits to adjoining rooms. Cool. Look, table. The tables were universally hidden under tablecloths yellowed and stinking with age. There was a plate of rancid meat on the center one, adding its evil stench to the air. Look. It had probably once. Look. Body. The body had been completely flayed and still glistened wetly with blood. The hands and one of the feet were held in place around the door with 6-inch nails. Can I take the nails? Take nails. My fingertips lacked the strength to pull them out. Open. 3 inches too short to be cool. What the heck? I don't know. I think this is worse than what was going on with that. Yeah. Can I open this? Open. Look. Torn wallpaper, bleeding walls, decay, and disuse. This room continued the alternative hotel's tradition. Hmm. I open this door. Open. Oh. Up the stairs, sir. Thank you. Um, priest or prisoner? I think that says acolyte or slave. This might be the floor I came from? I don't remember. Yeah, 2 is the floor I came from. There's a circle on the wall up there. Man. Not man. Bring her back. Looked like some kind of porcelain mannequin, but with bits missing. Couldn't see how it was attached to the wall. Huh. Yeah. Okay. So the painting won't be in the lobby because we're not in the normal state. We're in the bad part of the hotel. I didn't see where a safe could be. Tell me where the safe is, sir. Was this the door? Open. Open. Whoop! I can smell. The situation had reached the point I felt where politeness could be done away with. Why can't I just open the door then? Remember I had to use lockpick on door to open locked doors? It wasn't locked before, though. Yeah, the door's already unlocked. Open door. Here we go. Blood splatters covered every wall and surface in the room, as if someone had lost a fight with some horrible beast here. Metal tables and some kind of stone altar all showed evidence of recent slaughter. A mangled old sofa stood in one corner. Look, sofa? Soga? Sofa? Rotting green color, some kind of sharp weapon had created a slash right across the fetid cushion. Oh, see, I thought that was a skeleton. That was a Super Metroid player's room. Look, table. 2 steel tables provided as some kind of work surface. Blood stains and a severed head were a strong indication of what kind of work they were intended for. Open door. Stuck shut, so can't even lockpick that one. Open door. Okay. I'm gonna check every single one of these doors. Open door. Oh, so love me. My room had slipped into the shadow world. We're in the shadow realm, everyone. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Walls and floors were filthy, and the furniture had been replaced with instruments of suffering. Is this the bed? Look, bed. Look, altar. Hmm. I can spell, I promise. Rickety metal table stood here, clean and devoid of horrors. Presumably, this room was not used often. This is what I get for typing fast. Right, no, there's nothing up here. That's where the mannequin is. Now there's music. I don't understand this game. I can't decide when it's gonna have music playing. Can't open any of those. The music is the true horror. Yeah. Trying to figure out when the game is gonna play music or not. The spaceship game was interesting. Look, wall. Yeah, some sections were just a little like persnickety. It was like you had to hover over this specific one section to do some things, but there was something else near it as well, so you could accidentally click on that instead of the thing you actually needed to click on. So I died a few times. But yeah, it was definitely a little bit easier to follow than the first game, I would say, so it had its ups and it had its downs. Pentagram had been scrawled on the north wall, and a cow skull had been nailed in place over it. It seemed to be some kind of offering. Look, shelf. Some of the pigeonholes contained disembodied organs and entrails, which presumably belonged inside the creature on the altar. Open door. Okay. So then use lock, 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 pick on door. Had encountered far stronger locks in my time. I picked it open within 10 minutes. Open door. Pain. I'm trying. Typing is hard. Save. Thank you. Thank you. Paw. There is a paw right there. It could mean paw. Look. Save. It almost looked like some creature had exploded inside the safe, and the blood had shot out through the cracks around the door. Furry ghost. Oh no. Open. Safe. Arf in the night. This door appeared to be jammed shut. This came as something of a relief. Time Tiny absence of ventilation made the air very stuffy and thick. Only features were a safe and a table. Look. Table. Look. Table. Rickety metal table with nothing on it save the prerequisite blood spot. Use. This'll totally work, right? Use a lockpick on the safe. I should probably be more specific. I did! It's a pentagram. A pentagram with the I want to say it's the devil's head. It's like the oh my gosh, the horns are like all the way up here, and then you got the goat's head here. Yeah, Baphomet. Thank you, Roz. I couldn't remember who it was specifically. Open safe. Use lock pick on safe. Nope. Baphomet's a Knight Templar guard. Ooh. Oh, excuse me. I didn't know that. I think I'm usually used to Baphomet being referred to as like a demon. Because I'm pretty sure there is even one. There's Baphomets in Persona. Interesting. At least fair Philip accused them of worshipping him. Perhaps the alternative hotel bar had been like the real one at some point in the past, but had long since fallen into disarray and appeared to have been used for very sinister purposes. Did you happen to catch the name of the professor earlier? Yes, yes. It's the one from the previous game. I did. Because I specifically needed his name to ask him a question. Look. Bar. In keeping with the alternative hotel's theme, the furniture looked like someone had been hurled against them with absolutely fatal force. Well, I got his first name, or his last name, I guess? Shahal? He never mentioned his first name. An ancestor to Barry Shahal? Probably. Lying on the bar in a pile of gore was a pair of long-nosed pliers. Fake pliers. I could probably use the pliers to open the safe. Open door. Use pliers on safe. Open safe with pliers. Open safe with lock pick. Yeah, I've been doing that. It's still not. If I'm supposed to use the pliers on the safe, it's not working. Use pliers on safe. Yeah, it's like be more specific. How can I be more specific than that? Open door. Dior. Well, if the pliers won't do it, is there something else I need to pick up? I think I checked out everything in here. Look. Poster. Left poster, some kind of portrait of the strange masked figure I had glimpsed in the hotel. Middle poster was blanked, third was smashed. Are you talking about the door I'm in? Look. Game. Appeared to be damaged with the front plate ajar and frayed wires emerging from the rear. Strangely, though, the screen was active and flashing blankly. Oh, the door at the lobby. Oh, okay, because I thought I tried that already. Ooh. Open door. I've been going through the rooms so fast that I think you're talking about a different door. Open door. Hotel's exterior was as corrupted as its interior. The ground beneath my feet was hard, red, and gritty, like desiccated clay. Cool. Beautiful. That's just probably a giant circle. Windows were boarded up. Alternative hotel appeared to have been abandoned by everything but the horror. Let's use the magic of call taxi. I don't think it's gonna work, Kumi. Look. Head. Two heads on the right were decayed down to their skulls, but the one on the left was very much fresh, his features made unfamiliar by the torment it had undergone. Well, there's the head of our corpse. Corruption of the hotel seemed to extend for miles in every direction. Even the sky's rusty hue seemed threatening. On the east exterior wall was a bent and extremely unsafe-looking fire escape. I might be able to use that later. What if I do look great again? I think that counts as a window. I keep wanting to press enter to bring up the thing to type in, but no, you just start typing. The nails were hammered into the boards too far. I couldn't get a grip on them with the pliers. Use pliers on nail. The pliers were ideal for removing the nails. Ooh! This dress is like a Serena cosplay from Skyrim? No. This top is just a top I have. Open door. Oh, look at this bathroom. Look around. The gloomy laboratories were in a state of advanced disrepair. One of the cubicle doors was hanging off its hinges, and the mirror above the counter was broken. Look. Counter. Counter. Counter had two sinks and was covered in filth and mold. To my surprise, a brand new sealed envelope was sitting between the basins. Look on the envelope. Contrary to everything else in the hotel, it was completely clean. Slightly alarmingly, it was addressed to me. Take envelope. Baffled, I took the envelope. It was strangely bulky and tore it open. A white pill bottle and a note fell out into my hand. I here enclose the note with this report. Trilby, if you're reading this, then you too have seen the hotel change. At present, I have no idea if the alternative hotel is part of the ethereal realm or some kind of construct, a pocket dimension. There is a definite correlation between one's level of agitation and one's tendency to reality shift. Fear is your enemy. It leaves you shining like a beacon for whatever evil brought us to this place. Enclosed is a bottle of tranquilizers from my personal first aid kit. When you find yourself shifting into the other place, take a pill and try to calm down, and the real hotel will return. Do not let it concern you. I am researching the phenomenon. Your task is to find Defoe. Good luck. Agent Lankman? Lankman's letter raised more questions than it answered. I pocketed the pill bottle. Let's take some pills. Open door. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do need to take those. Save just in case. Take. Whoops! I'm accidentally pressing stuff. Don't mind me. Take. Heals. Hesitantly, I tipped a tranquilizer into my palm and swallowed it without water. It quickly took effect. Run invalid. I'm not doing a speed run anyways. Fuck that. Felt the anxiety lift from the pit of my stomach, and my dismal surroundings seemed to feel less imposing. Then I felt that strange sensation again, of lightheadedness and detachment as the world around me began to quiver. Hey, everything's normal. Look. Painting. I was frankly astonished that Matthew Defoe's painting had survived the immolation of Defoe Manor. Now go taxi. Unfortunately, he's not gonna do it. As I stared at it, it seemed that the surrounding room began to blur until only the painting was in focus. I fancied I could hear the creaks and whispers of Defoe Manor's hallways. I felt a bizarre urge to reach out and touch the painting. Oh, this is gonna be a bad idea. Touch painting. As I stepped closer, I could feel sound becoming muffled and my head spinning as if I were about to faint. My hand, as if pulled by an invisible string, reached out towards the clumsy brushstrokes. Defoe Manor, July 28th, AD 1821. Matthew Defoe is 15 years old today. He is excitedly putting the finishing touches to a painting, which his father commented on encouragingly. First time he has ever been supportive of Matthew's artistic learnings. July 28th. Yes, yes it is. Oh my gosh. God, that date's gonna be important, isn't it? Matthew was. This shit's all connected, apparently. Matthew was now convinced that his father is lifting from the mysterious depression that has plagued him for as long as either of them can remember. Now he intends to make the painting absolutely perfect before showing it again. Knock knock. Master Matthew. Sir Roderick has requested your presence in the trophy room. Thank you, James. And if you would be so good to inform him that I will now be retiring for the night. Very good, James. There you are, boy. Let me introduce my son, Matthew. Hello. This is my friend Sir Smith. He is an expert on African tribal art. Well, just a scholar, hardly even that, just someone with an interest in the subject. And he has offered to assess the figurine I brought back from my travels. Oh, I wasn't aware you had a family, Sir Roderick. Is your wife home too? Regrettably, Belinda's no longer with us. Oh, I'm sorry. Quite all right, you wouldn't have known. She succumbed to illness shortly after Matthew was born. I finished the painting I showed you, Father. Oh, good. Well, Mr. Smith, what do you think of the piece? Oh, it's an intriguing little puzzler, actually. The design is reminiscent of a few Central African tribal gods I'm aware of. But to be honest, I've never seen anything like this before. May I ask how you acquired it? I'm glad you asked. It was 20 years ago, when I was a younger man on my first travels in the Dark Continent. We were traveling along the west coast when our bearers spotted a ship that had run aground. It was an English clipper named the Sea Angel, and a short exploration revealed that every single crewman had just disappeared. Of course, we immediately sent a letter to the nearest embassy to report the finding. But the point is, it was on the lowest deck of the ship that I found this very figurine you see before you today. What an extraordinary tale. But how do you account for there being an African tribal carving on a British vessel? We were as confused as you are. It wasn't a slave trading vessel, but there must have been a Negro on the crew. Oh my gosh. It has been a personal mystery of mine ever since. I was hoping you could help shed a little light on the matter. But there is more to tell. I haven't even begun to recount the strange events that have surrounded this artifact. Would you care for a glass of brandy? Thank you, that would be most kind. Matthew, fetch the brandy from the kitchen and some glasses. Yes, father. What the fuck is on the table? Take. Thank you, thank you. I tried. Matthew took the brandy bottle and a pair of appropriate glasses. Bang bang. Hello? You haven't tried to speak to me in a while. Bang bang. It. I did another painting today. I showed it to father and he said it was promising. Looks like a smock or apron. Ooh, oh, is this the day the brother murders the two of them then? Oh no. But he only, as far as we know, he only murdered the two of them. So, like, he probably didn't murder the other guy, the visitor. So maybe he does it after? Hmm. Or he did murder the guest as well. Showed it to father and he said it was promising. I keep trying to tell him about you, but he never listens. You haven't knocked for me in so long, I was beginning to wonder. Bang, bang. Hey, do you want to see my painting? Bang, bang. I'm just not sure how I'd get it through the door. Open door. The door was locked as always, but there was a substantial gap of about an inch at the bottom of the door. Put painting under door. I'm pushing the painting under your door, okay? Just give it back when you're finished. How dare you, sir? You intrude on my hospitality and insult my judgment. That's father. Get out of my house, you worm. You better see what's the matter. Father? Oh, it's you. Father, what happened? I heard shouting. That old fool told me some rubbish about my figurine. Said the only tribe it could have come from all died in slavery years ago. Actually had the nerve to accuse me of buying from a forager. I'm sorry, Father. What are you apologizing for? Where's that damn brandy? I've got it here. Give it to me. I'll go back to my room, Father. Show me your painting. Father? You said you had a painting? Show it to me. I can't, Father. And why not? Because. Come on, why not? Out with it. Because I gave it to the boy behind the door. I see. Father? Go back to your room, boy. I have to write my diary entry. Yes, Father. An hour of silence passed, and Matthew grew concerned about his father. Strangely, the most disturbing thing had been Sir Roderick's reaction to Matthew mentioning the boy behind the door. In the past, raising this had usually provoked a violent rage or an instant flat denial. Matthew wondered what sort of anxiety was going through his father's mind. Smash. What was that? Father, what are you doing? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Volume? Is it too loud again? I thought it... Or are you saying I should turn it down even more? Is it gonna get loud again? Oh boy. There. Open door. Matthew was confused by his own reluctance. He had longed to see what was beyond this door his entire life, but now, given the chance, he was struck with fear. He peered cautiously through and saw a set of rough stone steps leading down to some kind of basement. I turned it down and it didn't register it. I should have done this the moment you came into this world, demon child. May God forgive me for having a part in your creation. Father? What are you doing? Do you see what you've done? I didn't want him to see this. Do you see what you've done? Father, no! Father! Father! Boo. My apologies, dear boy, I couldn't resist. You look so lost in that painting, I don't think you even saw me come in. What? What? Is everything all right, Terry? Yes, everything's fine. It's just for a moment there, I thought I saw. Never mind. Savon and I were talking about you after you ran out of the room. I said you seemed like something was making you terribly anxious. Frankly, I think that's still the case. I'm okay, really, I am. Well, if you're sure. I was certain my mind was not playing tricks on me. I had been back there in Defoe Manor, looking through the eyes of Matthew Defoe. Right? Why is this game being so rebellious? It might be, like Roz was saying earlier, it might be a problem with like the engine he made it on. It, like, because like I'm turning down the volume in like my system settings and it keeps resetting it. I had seen the events that had created John Defoe. I saw his death at the hands of Sir Roderick, that terrible violent end that would bring him back as that awful wraith. Excuse me. But somehow, seeing that event, it was clear to me that there was more to this than the ghost of one retarded youth. There had been something very wrong about that idol, even before it was used to destroy John Defoe. A name stood out in my memory: the Sea Angel, the name of the ship on which Sir Roderick had found the figurine. I now had a lead. Professor, do you know anything about a ship called the Sea Angel? You know, it's funny you should mention that name. There's a really old wooden chisel among the Defoe Manor artifacts, and the words Sea Angel are carved into the handle. Where is this chisel? Out on display in the convention hall next to the dining room. What's this all about, Terry? It's nothing. It's just a little side project my clients want me to get onto. Thank you for your help. No problem. Take care of yourself. Say what? Right? And it looks like there's something peeking out from under the painting. Oh shit. Look. Painting. Someone had stuck a piece of paper under the frame, perhaps for me to find. Whoops. Take paper. It was a page from a religious book I wasn't familiar with. I here enclose it with these notes. Victim 5, the child. I think that's one. I was like, is that one or I? One. The fifth man who desired judgment was the child, whose father held the carving of the slave. The prince came to him, and was at once rightly pleased with what he found, for the house of the child and his father already knew well the name of the king. 2. And as the prince watched, the child was thrown down by his father, and broken with the wood of the prince's soul. But as the child's body, mind, and soul began to drift apart, the prince held them together, and he said, You are the child, and to you I grant power, for I see in you the potential that will grant my father, the king, his greatest wish. You shall be not of the land of technology, nor of the realm of magic, but of both, and thus you shall form the bridge. And across the bridge the king shall come to bring his message to the men of technology. Through you, child, the bridge will come, and thus I name you the bridge keeper. And the prince touched the child, and he was the bridge keeper, and his three aspects were granted power, so that his soul would join with the prince's soul in the wood of the tree. And the bridge keeper rose up and threw down his father, and threw down his brother, and truly did they know the name of the king. And into the house of his father went the body and the mind of the bridge keeper. What the heck? Okay, that was definitely about the that was definitely about what's his face. The Wraith. I forget his name. I don't know if his brother was ever given a name. William's brother? I honestly don't remember if he was ever given a name. I don't think he was. It was just like referred to as Wraith or yeah, I don't think it was. Sorry, the music stopped. Give me a sec. I guess we'll just go back to this stuff. It's bedtime for you, Kumi. Sounds good. It was good to see you for a little bit. Enjoy your eep, and we'll see you around. I feel like I need to sneeze. Is it this one? I'll buy a deadbolt on the other side, because I think this is the kitchen. Yeah, that's the kitchen. That's the bathroom. This is like the bar, so I don't think it was in here. look game. I think it was a pub quiz machine. A piece of white card on the screen declared that it was out of order. Okay. Open door. That's to the outside. Yeah, I need to find this. I need to check out this chisel. No, I didn't. I figured I'd just go straight for the chisel. The air in the hotel office was swimming with dust. The proprietors clearly felt that record keeping was more of a formality than a necessity. In the corner of the room was a diminutive but sturdy steel safe. I hadn't had cause to crack safes for some time, but my hands instantly went into automatic, the thieving mindset returning like an old friend. When the job was done and the safe opened, my nostalgia faded into puzzlement when I found it empty. Just for once, I'd like to crack a safe that actually contains something. It's not so much to ask. Apparently, it is. There was virtually nothing on the desk and it lacked a chair. Obviously, very little work was actually done here. Yeah, there's a shock of shocks. It's not in the safe. I think the chisel might be in here, but there's a deadbolt on it, so I can't open it. Is there a way to come in from the outside? The pliers are gone, so I can't use the pliers. So it's gonna be probably after a certain amount of transitions that the hotel will go back to this. So since I opened the safe, it's still closed here. Yeah, it's still closed here. That's interesting. Okay, so the idol is gone. Shocking. Okay, what is this? That's probably actually the fire escape, but it won't let me go down it. That's the Shahal's room. Could you repeat what you told me about the sea angel? All I know is that there's a chisel amongst the Defoe Manor artifacts bearing that name. It's in the conference hall with the others. Where conference hall? Ask Shahal about conference hall. Whoops. Ask. Oh, wait, no, I think it is about conference hall. I spelled conference hall right, though. About hall. I hate how finicky it is around these stairs. Yeah, true. Either stuck or locked. Use lockpick on door. Use lock pick on door. Open. I don't think I can use a lockpick on that one. It's being very angry with me. Multiple rooms? Multiple doors? That's the only door though in that hallway. I guess in the staircase. Okay, this is my room. Complimentary standard hotel room equipped with bed, sofa, television. I have to get into the conference room, but it's locked. I feel like I have to come in from the outside then. So that's kind of why I checked the bathroom to see if there was like a vent or a window I could go through. I didn't see one. I could check the or the bar slash games room for like a vent or a window, but I almost feel like I might need to come from the outside. Can't go through the window. Doesn't like it. Actually, do this first. Rather small. It was a rather small hotel. Only two small tables, some kind of defunct arcade machine. Um, what the fuck just happened? Why am I here? Okay. Okay. Two pint of fair. Okay. Matchbox. Yeah. That was a little concerning. Side and rear yards enclosed by a high wooden fence could also see a fire escape running up the east exterior wall. Can I climb the fence? Climb. Too tall and sturdy. Damn. One fence. Do I have to burn the fence down? Use matchbox on fence. Burn fence with matchbox. Uh, use match on fence. I don't understand what I need to do here. Because I don't know, like, I know I need to get into the conference hall, but I just don't understand how. Because, like, there was a smoke detector? I don't remember seeing a smoke detector. Um, um, I can't move. Cool. I'm just getting random ass visions. Go check the first floor? Oh, like up here? I think I'm going crazy. Hallway decorated identically to the majority of the rooms in the Clanwynburn Hotel, warmly and pleasantly. I didn't realize I was a smoke detector. Use match box on smoke detector. Look, smoke. It was a circular white heat sensor, presumably tied to the hotel's fire safety system. Oh, light match. Click. I pushed my way through the door and descended the fire escape. It was probably used for garden maintenance, tool storage, that sort of thing. An old iron crowbar was the only tool being stored at the time. Take crowbar. Take crowbar. Um, climb ladder. Climbed back up the ladder and entered the same floor I had come from. We have a crowbar. This guy we're getting visions of looks a little spooky, because that's not the first time we've seen a vision of that guy with a no face. He's all white with no face. Use crowbar on the door. Crowbar was very old. I doubt it possessed the necessary strength to do that. Use crowbar on boards. As I had suspected, the stress proved too much for the ancient crowbar, which was bent to uselessness. I discarded it. Open door. Slenderman, my Lenderman. Yep. Yep. Look around. Judging by the smell, this room had probably not been ventured into for years. Desiccated corpses dangled from the ceiling, left to rot by some warped interior decorator. Look wall. Pre-resequate bloodstains had faded to an ugly brown color over time. It did not make them any less unnerving. It had been used to daub some kind of symbol on the north wall. Look. Bodies. More wretched victims of the alternate hotel. Their advanced age indicated that the dreadful sights that filled this place were by no means a recent addition. Oh, damn. Too late. Open door. I was hoping it would change while I was in there. Professor Shahal's antique show was as sparse as its small venue would indicate. A couple of tables were laid out with various trinkets, and a charred rocking chair was the centerpiece. Look. Chair. An involuntary shudder went through me as recognition dawned. It was the same chair from the living room in Defoe Manor, the room I had opted to sleep in for those 5 days. Look. Chisel. It was a very old make of chisel, rusted and probably very fragile. As the professor had described, the words Sea Angel were carved into the handle. Drink? Yes. Hydrate or dihydrate? You didn't actually press hydrate if that's what you were going for? Again, I found myself inexplicably drawn to the artifact. My fingertips were already extending towards it, as if drawn by a magnet. Oh, you saw a drink on the table? Oh, yeah, there is. Touch, touch the chisel. A loud buzzing played in my ears, and my vision began to cloud as I reached over and laid my hand upon the tool. Somewhere in the Atlantic, July 25th, AD 1789. I'm gonna butcher this. Mobuta had been a great warrior. In battle, his skill was thought unmatched in all of Africa. He had respect, a great house, a slew of beautiful women, children to make any father proud. I'm gonna be honest, that looked like stew and not slew for a sec. Like just the way the lettering was, and I'm like, it kind of looks like it could have a cross through that L, but no, it's a slew. But through just one mistake, it had all been torn away. His mistake was in standing by his beloved king when the invaders from the coastal kingdom arrived. Now his great house was ruined, his woman raped, his children murdered. And for Mobuta, the worst fate of all, sold to the white men in exchange for weapons, shackled with his fellows in the hold of a slave ship. Mobuta was strong. Perhaps he could have lived as a slave, but then came the sickness. A simple fever, no doubt to be gone the next day, but the white men took no chances and threw him overboard. For days, Mobuta drifted, waiting for the black cloud of death to descend. Having lost everything, he now sought only the embrace of the deep, a welcome end to a life betrayed. But the end did not come then. Coming around, Captain. Voices unfamiliar, speaking an unfamiliar language. Mobutu was suddenly terrified that the slavers must have returned, but he was as weak as a newborn and could not move or speak. Looks like we picked him up just in time. Don't know how long he's been drifting out here, but he can't have lasted much longer. Good Lord, look upon it, men. The greatest evidence we have of humanity's inherent evil. Never forget that, men. Sailors such as you or I did this, left this poor wretch to die. Slavers ain't sailors like you or I, Captain. No. I do not know how those devils can have the audacity to still call themselves human. Today there is no pride in being an Englishman. Find our new passenger some quarters. Make him comfortable. Passenger, Captain? Every innocent who sets foot on my ship is a free man. Is there something about this policy you find questionable? Not at all, Captain. This was during the abolitionist movement. Also, some might have been sold to a Portuguese ship. So, like, when you say abolitionists, like, were they already like not having slaves as often in England? No, these were not the slavers. The ship was different, less crowded with terrified black faces. There was anger in the voices of the white men, but not directed at Mobuta. Still frightened but somewhat reassured, Mobuta passed out. Some countries were trying to abolish slavery around this time. Oh, okay. Good on them. They should have done it earlier, but people suck. Oh, okay. Portugal was still very into slavery, I see. That's why you mentioned a Portuguese ship. Would throw cargo chained to a giant rock overboard when they had too much. What the fuck? Yeah, that's yeah, I mm, I have no words. That's fucking people. Days passed and Mabuta's health was restored. Yet, hashtag humans were the real evil all along. Absolutely. Hmm. To have been rescued by the ship of these good white men had been a fantastic stroke of good fortune. He decided that it had been the will of the gods that he should survive, and that proper thanks would be in order. An idol, that was the answer. If he could just find some suitable wood and a sharp blade, he would carve the finest idol of his life. Wait, you have a history degree, actually? Look around. The angel. Nice. You have 5 college degrees. Hey, you were interested in many things. Like, it is giving you many options. Like, I don't know if you use any of your degrees for your current job, but like, at least you have options if you're all of a sudden like, I hate my job. I hate my job. The Sea Angel was a small clipper built for speed and the fast delivery of cargo. It was late in the evening, there were few crewmen on deck. History, psychology, social behavior sciences, natural sciences, and general studies. Nice. Fuck crew. Mabuta could not understand the white man's language. Any communication would have to be nonverbal. A large crate was sitting in the shaft of a light with letters stenciled on that Mabuta did not recognize. It was cheaply made with poor quality nails, and some of the boards looked ready to fall off. Take board. The wood of the crate seemed ideal for Mabuta's intentions. He decided to leave it here until he was ready to carve the idol. Climb ladder. O'Malley? Is that actually what it said? I couldn't read what it said. That name also sounds familiar. Ask tool. Ask for tools. O'Malley shipping. Siobhan O'Malley. Oh my gosh. Um. Because he doesn't understand their language. Point at tools. All right there, laddie. Oh, I see you want something to carve with. Here. Sailor handed Mobutu a sharp, almost brand new workman's chisel. Just bring it back when you're finished with it. Climb ladder. Use. Hold on. I have a note about use tools on crate. With the chisel and the wood of the crate, Mobuta could finally create his offering. After several hours, Mobutu was very pleased with the result, a fine rendition of his kingdom's god of fertility and good fortune. All that remained now was to return the chisel. Look, bodies, hurts. him again! The vision faded, and I felt myself being hurled forcefully back into the present day. That tall, thin creature, that black-clad ghoul, what was its significance to my predicament? Why did it appear again and again throughout history to spread death and horror? There was no connection to the idol's shape or Mabuta's tribal deities. The tall man was no fertility god. It must have been connected to the wood of that crate somehow. There had been a name on that crate. Mabuta hadn't been able to read it, but I, looking through his eyes, had. O'Malley shipping. Could the owner have been an ancestor of Siobhan? It was a flimsy possibility, but at that point, my only lead. I resolved to discuss this with Siobhan at the earliest opportunity. Oh, look, paper. I recognized it as being from the same source as the one under the painting in the lobby. Victim 4, the slave. The fourth man who desired judgment was a slave. Get the drink? Okay. The fourth man who desired judgment was a slave who had not been brought Freehorn's message, and who tormented the wood that was the prince's soul with a sharpened blade. The prince came to him, and he struck the slave down, and he knew the name of the king. And the prince said, "Not one of your household shall I leave alive, slave. For thrice now have I brought my warning, and any who still fail to heed shall be named as fool, and judged most unworthy in our sight." Take drink. I took the drink with me. Something told me it would come in useful. Speedy cola. Heck yeah. Open the door. Finally, Oh, it's you, Terry. I thought you might have been the serving staff at last. Alcohol. Uh, Alcohol about Siobhan. Doesn't it start with an S? There we go. Where's Siobhan? She said she was going to get a drink. I keep telling her it's not right for a girl her age to drink so much. But what do I know about young people today? Ah. If you want to transition between places at will, you should be able to now if you want to transition between places at will, you should be able to instead of back and forth, back and forth. Oh? Speedy Cola, a highly effective energy drink. I usually steer clear of caffeine. It tends to make me agitated. Oh, okay. So you drink the drink and it puts you back to the bad place, and you take the pills and it puts you to the normal place. Okay. Mr. Railby, have you seen any of the hotel staff anywhere? I'm afraid not. Hmm. Perhaps they go to bed early in these parts. Yeah, the bad place. Ask Javon about O'Malley shipping. Spelled it right? Ask Javon about O'Malley shipping. Do you know anything about the history of your family? I wouldn't be much of a history student if I didn't now, would I? Siobhan watched you walk back and forth in front of her. She cocked an eyebrow, silently passing judgment. because I wanted to make sure I was close enough to her. Because it seems like this game, you need to be a certain amount of distance away, like close to people. And I keep forgetting that when you press a button, it just keeps going in that direction. I'm researching my family tree as part of my diploma. That's ideal. I appreciate this may sound like an odd question, but trust me when I say it's important. Did your family run a shipping company in the late 18th century? That is an odd question, but I do remember reading something about O'Malley shipping. I'd have to check my notes. I left them in my book bag. Could you meet me in my room in about 5 minutes? I'm in 2A, next to Abid. Certainly. I'll see you there then. I'm gonna just go straight there. I have nothing to do in the meantime. Like, this is my next lead. Like Abed. It's hard to say because I'm very, very English, very white. So yeah. Doors open. Come in, please, Terry. You have the papers? Must you always get right down to business? Come and sit down. Let's talk. How are you feeling? We were a little worried about you. I have these moments of illness. She's on her bed, Trilby. Don't be ungentlemanly. Are you saying that like don't sit beside her on her bed, or she's expecting a little something something and he's being all like, we're here to talk, we're just here to talk, nothing's gonna happen, we're just here to talk, like naive? Don't just go straight to business. Ah, he is going crazy, he wants to get out of here, I get it. Trilby doesn't seem like the type of person to be interested in a little something something while this is all going on. He'd be like, I'm crazy. I just want to not be crazy. What do you want to talk about? Defoe Manor. Oh, it kind of interests me. I was really into the media coverage of the incident at the time. This client of yours, the one who wants the figurine, what does he know about it? He's definitely not interested in that. Neither really is Yahtzee, at least not in his writing. Like, is Siobhan even like interested in Trilby like that? Like, she would kind of want a little something something, but Trilby's just all like, down to business, no fun, must not be crazy anymore, and is just very naive about the situation. Be like, yeah, no, we're here for business, nothing else. Good question. Well, he has an interest in the occult, and there's some nonsense story going around about it. Something about the idol being a vessel for an evil ghost. I wasn't really paying attention. Really? I don't remember hearing about that in any of the reports. No, you wouldn't have. It wasn't wildly. Have you heard the story that Trilby was in the house? I could feel cold sweat drooling down my spine. Every fiber of my being was concentrating on not giving any outward signs of alarm, as Siobhan spoke of my secret name with wide eyed enthusiasm. You're certainly not looking at her hips with the way she's sitting, or the way the light shadows around the curvature of her chest. Sure, Roz. Huh. No one believes it, but Simone Taylor insisted it was true right up until, well, you know. She says he saved her from the house. I think that's a little far-fetched. That's exactly what Habed said. He says a ghost is one thing, but throwing Trilby into it just makes it seem silly. Truth be told, I don't think Habed believes in Trilby any more than he does ghosts. He's so grounded in reality. A sensible attitude. Have you have you always been an antique dealer? Siobhan, please, I came here to talk about. Let me put that another way. Have you ever been an antique dealer? I knew it. The outfit, the hat, Terry, Railby. You're him. You were into Faux Manor. And now you've come here to finish off the ghost. Siobhan, I always knew there was something else in this world, that there was something better, more glamorous, just below the surface. Will you take me with you? Listen to me. There is nothing glamorous about what I do. I live in shadows that threaten to consume me every single day. And if you pursue this any further, you're going to walk straight into one. What are you talking about? There is something extremely dangerous in the hotel. I don't know what it is, but. Oh god. No! Do I just die here? I don't remember when last I saved. This concludes the text of the notes found in the Clarabin Hotel on August 4th in STV investigation team. Time of writing, Trilby remains missing in action. I don't think that was the end, so I died. Oh, fuck, when did I last save? When did I last save? Okay, I have the drank. I'll just save like right before going into the room. Do, do, do. Oh god, no! Run away! Siobhan was out cold but uninjured. She would probably be safe on her bed while I continued my investigation. It's her own damn fault for getting that close. I even was like, there's something wrong in the hotel. Look bag. It was a perfectly ordinary student's backpack for carrying books and personal possessions. Open bag. Under the circumstances, Siobhan probably wouldn't mind. There were a few textbooks, a half-empty water bottle, and a large folder marked O'Malley Family History. This, I decided, was my quarry. I flipped through the pages until I reached the information relevant to the 18th century and read my discoveries out loud. The Liverpool-based O'Malley Shipping Company ran for 3 generations as a family in the mid to late 18th century until the loss of one of their clippers drove the company to bankruptcy. The owner at the time, Jacob O'Malley, placed the blame somewhat irrationally on a shipping crate, which family legend alleged to be haunted, and that had been on the ship at the time. There are numerous tales of bizarre events surrounding the crate, and the story of the crate's origin is no less mysterious. It goes that a strange young man came to a carpenter's at the Liverpool dockyards with a very expensive looking harpsichord, which he insisted be smashed up and the wood used for whatever purpose the carpenter desired. That bankrupt the company. It's wild to think that a single ship bankrupt the company. Like, I feel like that's really not heard of, you know? It's usually more than that. He refused to leave until the instrument had been utterly broken into its component parts in front of his eyes, and the wood sent to be made into crates for O'Malley shipping. When pressed for his name, the man identified himself as one Jack Freehorn. The Rooms of Jack Freehorn, July 28th, AD 1778. Oh, this goes back so far. So, and there's 5 victims. As far as we know, the the Defoe Manor was the 5th victim, and then we got the info for the ship that the idol came from, and it was the 4th victim. So yeah, this is the 3rd victim. Well, there's gonna be at least. That's the thing. At least 2 more after Jack Freehorn, because Jack is dead as well. Jack would have suffered from this, would have died from this white-faced entity. So what trifle have you been wasting your father's money on now, Jack? What does it look like? It looks like a virginal. A harpsichord, actually, in the Flemish style. Quite old. Quite expensive. Well, I suppose I should be grateful that something is distracting you from the occult for once. I fear you may be speaking too soon, my friend. Oh, God, I should have known, you and your silly obsession. So what devilry inhabits this magnificent instrument? The instrument as a whole is for the most part untainted by the ethereal realm. But its keys are what spark my interest. Unusually, they have been carved from centuries-old English oak. And that's the interesting part? I will not be disheartened by that sharp tongue of yours. The wood has gone through many incarnations before being incorporated into this device. Items of furniture, building material, in fact, just over 200 years ago was part of a wall. A wall of a certain inn on a well-traveled road in Wales. The unicorn. I'm so pleased you remember. I could hardly forget it, the way you have been obsessing quite heartily over it of late. Your correspondents persist in filling your head with rubbish about ghosts and demons. I count myself very lucky to have tracked down even a small piece of that whole story. I know I've already told you some of the wonderful stories attached to it. And this instrument has had its fair share of mysterious happenings. The usual batch of strange noises, sudden madness, and inexplicable deaths. Seize sense, my friend. This curiosity of yours for all things ungodly has no doubt already befouled your immortal soul. You are a fine fellow, Wilbur, but you have not a drop of romance in your body. Now stop browbeating me for my inquiring mind and let us take dinner. That night, Jack was stirred from his bed by the sound of music emanating from his new instrument. His first thought was anger, mostly because the harpsichord was an antique, never intended to be played. But then he listened to the haunting, melancholy tune and felt his stomach roll inexplicably with fear. Who's down there? Wilbur, is that you? Jack could not take a step further, because he realized with a lurch that he recognized the dark figure that sat at the keys. He had read of this strange entity that recurred frequently in stories surrounding the Unicorn Inn and the objects that were later constructed from its wood. It turned up the music again. And he knew with absolute certainty that the tall man would destroy him, were he not destroyed first. Come on. Thank you. Jack's desk was covered untidily in letters, notes, and papers he had been studying lately. A flintlock pistol given to Jack by his father lay gathering dust atop a pile of correspondence. Take pistol. Take pistol. Jack took the gun with him to confront the intruder. Use pistol on man. Use pistol on tall man. Shoot man. You won't take me, demon. Huh? Wilbur? No. Oh God, no. But I could have sworn. You. I know you. You have. Oh God. Please forgive me, your Majesty, for my transgressions. I am a worthless, craven fool, not worth a second of your precious time. I beg you, spare me. I will redeem myself for my offense. I will be yours forever, my body, mind, and soul. Your Majesty. So that guy's the king? The tall man's the king? Thank you, my lord. Thank you. Identified himself as one Jack Freehorn. This may well have been the same Jack Freehorn who went on to form a bizarre religious cult. A depraved group of paganist worshippers who were spoken of with much derision by conventional society. With my latest flashback, my knowledge of the history of the Cursed Wood gained another step. That seems to be the case, though. Like, anytime they see the tall man, it's actually someone else. Like, he is around, but he kind of, like, puts his shape onto someone else so that they do something bad. Before the crate, it had been a harpsichord. And sometime before the harpsichord, it had been part of some kind of hostelry in Wales, an inn called the Unicorn. Why did that ring a bell somewhere in my recent memory? I had definitely seen something in the Clanbrewin Hotel that was linked to the place, but where? Siobhan? Look. Paper. The victim 3, Freehorn. The third man who desired judgment was Freehorn, who had bought from those who made luxuries with the wood that was the prince's soul. The prince came and struck down the lover of Freehorn, and Freehorn knew the name of the king. Or is the tall man the prince? Okay, the tall man is either the prince or the king, for sure. And Freehorn said, I know you now, O prince who was the arrogant man, and I anticipate your wish, and I will devote myself to spreading the teachings you have brought me and the love of our king. Okay, no, Tall Man is the prince. And it seems like the prince, the tall man, probably follows some sort of like demon or something. And the prince was satisfied. And Freehorn called all those who would listen, and they formed an order of blessed agonies that would work to redeem the follies of the men of technology. The unicorn. Order of the Blessed Agonies. Yep. Definitely seems like some sort of cult that's all like into hurting each other. They probably take pleasure in pain or something. To my unending concern, I realized that the decay of the alternate hotel had spread, either to me or the pills, and they no longer worked. I had to find a way to restore their effect, or at least another method of calming myself. Oh my gosh. This was expected to happen though, wasn't it? Well, I can't take the cola. The cola gives me anxiety. Do I go for a nap? Um, so yeah, the pills don't work anymore. Unsurprisingly. Where was my room again? Maybe I can't go for a nap. Whoops, use bed. Nap on bed. Sleep? Sleep on bed. Ah, no, can't take a nap. Excuse me. I wish I could go under the stairs to get to this door. There we go. Mm. From somewhere to the west, I heard the familiar sound of a door being unlocked. Oh, are we going to the kitchen? I'm saving just in case. Get some food from the kitchen. Linkman. Linkman, wait! Sus. Open door. Beautiful. What had once been a kitchen was now some kind of torture room. I find myself wondering whether it was used for extracting information or merely to entertain the alternate hotel's Hellas proprietor. Look, table. The preparation counters were spattered with the blood of the poor wretch occupying the central surface. Look, body. A horribly tormented soul was still lying on the central counter, limbs arranged oddly from spasms of agony. Open door? Why did I come out here? The grimy cellar had been abandoned for some time. A large section of floor was worn away. The worn down area had been conquered by a swarm of greasy black beetles. Hey, at least I saved after hearing the door. Like the door being unlocked. Apparently don't touch the beetles? Interesting. The beetles are hangry. Okay, so I need a way to get rid of the beetles. Open door. Emergency door refused to budge. It appeared to be jammed. And I still don't have a way to frickin' look. Oven. The oven, the sole remnant of the kitchen's former uses, was stained from the inside with desperate handprints. Look. Wall. There was an interesting imprint of blood on the north wall, suggesting that some flayed victim had been hurled against it. Ooh, open door. Okay. Pour off a lump of meat to take with me. If I came up against anything hostile and carnivorous in this place, it would help to have something other than myself to offer it. I figured it was that or the head in the front. Give meat. At least two individuals had met with sticky ends down here. One of them had been almost completely picked clean by beetles. The other I noticed was heavily decayed except for its hand, which was fresh and pink. I wondered if this had something to do with the puddle of water it was lying in. Look, hand. Look, water. In the far corner of the room was a puddle of water, created by drips from above. It had a curious color to it, and the drops seemed to glow with their own illumination. The liquid was having a strange effect on a nearby corpse. Take water. It was almost as if the water was drawing me to it, not like a scabbling thing in my mind, like the chisel of the painting, but more like a beckoning siren. I couldn't help myself. I crouched down and dipped my hand in. It felt uncommonly refreshing and brought an almost up and brought it an amount up to my lips, my unhygienic surroundings forgotten. Sorry, it feels like there's cat hair in my mouth. As a pleasant feeling of simultaneous coolness and warmth spread from my stomach, I realized that the water had some sort of rejuvenating effect. I had no explanation for this, but at the time I didn't care. I was beginning to feel in the back of my mind the familiar tickling sensation that indicated a reality shift, so I swiftly scooped a few drops of the liquid into my pill bottle, shaking it through the remaining pills. The hotel cellar was lit up by a single spotlight and seemed almost completely bare, but for some dusty cardboard crates and a wine rack. Small selection of storage boxes, no doubt full of useful trinkets. Are the only furniture. Whoa. Wait, no, look. Wine. Fake wine? No free wine for me. Hotel kitchen was deserted and completely sterile. Whatever had happened to the staff, it had happened before they had started preparing dinner. Nothing was being cooked, ovens were switched off and free of grime. Counter. Preparation counter scrubbed clean, clear your very efficient kitchen. Look. Fridge. Vast undecorated refrigerator stood in the corner. Look. Wall. I'm trying to remember where I saw something about the unicorn. Oh, Terry, it's you. Have you seen Siobhan? I was about to ask you that. What did you do to the girl? I hope you don't intend to seduce her away from my service. Abed, I need you to understand. You and I and Siobhan are all in critical danger. There is something evil in this hotel, and it's closing in fast. Mr. Railby, I have been over this hotel several times. Depart from us, there is absolutely nothing here. Please keep your fairy stories in the playroom where they belong. That's worrisome. Okay. And actually, before we continue on, I do need to take a quick break, so I will be right back, everyone. All right, I am back. Uh, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels this way, but I would not be surprised if this hotel used to be called the Unicorn. I think this is the place. On the display tables, I recognized one or two Defoe Manor artifacts among the miscellaneous knickknacks. A set of manacles, rescued no doubt from the manor's basement, stood out the most. What about this table? Look, table. Ask Shahal about unicorn. Do you know anything about an inn called the Unicorn? Ah, you noticed my shingle. I picked it up as a curiosity at an antique fair a couple of years ago. Dates all the way back to the Elizabethan period, from what I understand. But I just can't find a buyer for the damn thing. Don't suppose you have any clients who might go for it? Possibly. Do I have your permission to examine it? Of course. I may have to touch it to assess the texture. By all means, do so. As long as you're not going to test its strength over your knee or something, or anything. Is this the shingle on the side here? I think it is. Look. Shingle. An ancient shingle from an establishment called the Unicorn was leaning against one of the tables. See, when it said shingle, I thought it was actually talking about like a piece of the roof. Because, like, I'm pretty sure shingles are also on the roof, but I think what it's talking about is one of those signs that used to like when you go to a tavern, it'd be the sign hanging out from the place. Could this have been the same unicorn mentioned by Jack Freehorn? The buzzing in my ears that manifested as I inspected the shingle indicated so. Touch. Shingle. Touch the shingle. The shingle's design was a simple one of a unicorn's head in half profile, painted with average ability on a dark oak backing. As I pressed my fingertips to it, however, the design seemed to extrude from its backing like a hologram, and seemed to draw closer until my vision was filled with wood grain and mediocre brushstrokes. I could vaguely detect the professor speaking to me, on the very edge of hearing, but by the time I realized it, I was already gone. Somewhere in Wales, July 28th, 1581. Constantly with the July 28th. Wait. Um, I didn't pay attention to the date on the last one. That might have also been July 28th. Oh my gosh. Owen Somerset, a traveling merchant, was on his way back to his wife and family in London, having concluded some business dealings in Ceredigion. Ceredigion? No. Ceredigion? Yeah, whatever. Of course it was. So yeah, constantly every single date these killings are happening is July 28th. Every single one. Caught suddenly by a summer storm, he spied an inn by the side of the road and marveled at his good fortune. Faith, 'tis an evil storm that blights the sky tonight. Uh, I must have the Almighty on my side to find myself so close to an inn as it broke out. Perhaps. The innkeeper seemed quite taciturn, but Owen was in a good mood, and was determined for it not to leave him. It was probably too late to continue riding, even if the storm cleared. Owen decided to inquire after a room for the night. Ask. Room. Ask. Innkeeper for room. Good evening, sir. Would it be possible to secure a bed for the night? Be a wiser man than I. Go from this place and never return. What? There is a curse upon this inn. I will not have an innocent doomed to the same fate as I. Um, ask innkeeper for room. I have plenty of gold to pay for my board. The devil cannot be bought off, my friend. What devil? What is the nature of this curse? This inn was built by my father 20 years ago. From the wood of a fallen oak he stumbled upon on an island north of here. He noticed humans' bones scattered around, but did not heed them. This inn has been a curse on our bloodline ever since. Madness and death claims those who stay here. This time last year it claimed my father. Soon I am certain it shall claim me. Ask innkeeper for room. So why do you remain? I do not believe in fleeing from the mistakes of the past. If the Almighty wills that my family must pay for our heirs, then this I accept. But I will not see another suffer for our sins. Leave now before the shadows take you. Ask innkeeper for room. Sir, I have little patience for fables, and even less for riding after sundown in the middle of a downpour. Lend me a room, and I shall take the responsibility for my own well-being. You will insist? Not only will I insist, but I will pay whatever price you ask. Go then, take the upstairs room. And if you remain by the morn, you shall pay nothing at all. Owen lay himself down, intending only to test the bed's softness, but in his exhaustion he quickly succumbed to sleep. In the early hours of the morning, something jolted Owen from his slumber. A piercing sound? No. A piercing smell. Oh, the inn is on fire! Look, fire. A blaze had been set before the front door. By whom? The innkeeper? Um, look. Barrel? A number of ale barrels were visible behind the bar. Take ale. Uh, Snuff. Fire. Um, put out fire. Owen would have to get closer to the flames first. Eh, put out fire. That's why I wanted the ale. I figured the ale could put the fire out. Open door. There's no look. Desk? I wonder if there's in the corner. Open. Take blanket. Owen took the sheet with him, presumably for comfort. Use the blanket on the fire. What in God's name? Oh God, it's him, the innkeeper. What kind of? Who could have? Huh. Once again I returned, disoriented from my vision. I was closing in on the source of the madness. The innkeeper had said that the wood came from a tree on an island. Could that have been Clanbrowen Island? Given what I was seeing, it seemed a valid, if worrying, possibility. Besides that, it seemed I had no other leads, so what would I do? I was determined not to let the trail end there. There were just a single clue. Big paper. Trilby, I know you are following a trail. Go to the roof if you wish to proceed. Victim 2, the innkeeper. The second man who desired judgment was the innkeeper, who had brought the wood of the tree and built from it his house. The prince came to him and his guest, and he struck the innkeeper down, and the innkeeper knew the name of the king. And the prince turned to the innkeeper's guest, and he said, You I shall not let live. For once before have I made this warning, and still my soul aches with what is done to the wood that is my soul, and I will spare no man who injures me in this way. And the innkeeper's guest knew the name of the king. Open door. To the roof. Um, Look, desk. Papers. A porcelain leg. Take leg. Take leg. Do I need to make the mannequin? Because there is a mannequin on the door to the roof. Do I need to find the parts for it? I don't know if they're only going to be in the good spot, in the good hotel. Do, do. Apparently I can't pick that open. Use lock pick on door. Yeah, this will always bring me out here, which I've already done. I can't climb up. Climb ladder. And yeah, like I said, I don't know if I can only find these mannequin pieces in the good side. Use leg. Use leg on mannequin. Use put leg on mannequin. Yeah, I need to find the pieces. I guess I'll search all of the bad side first, as I'm here. Yeah, there's a head on there. It doesn't look like it's a mannequin head. Come on, keep going. Keep going down the stairs. Cool, never mind. Open the door. Scavenger hunt time. I don't think anything in here looks like a mannequin. Look bar. No. Open door. Snack tied up at one end, set oozing foulness in the corner. Nope. Tip, crotchety, old newspapers. Okay, yeah, nothing in those. Where are my mannequin pieces? Open cabinet. Open fridge. Open oven. No. Professor, I don't want to talk to you anymore. If you're not gonna get me a drink, you can shove off. So he is not gonna talk to us anymore. And we're back in the bad's place. There's no mannequin piece there because I took it. We found an arm, so we need 2 more pieces. Maybe 3. We might need to find their head. And I don't know if this is one of those you need to find them in order. I don't think it is, though. I think we can go open door. Hey, another arm. I'm missing a leg still. Take arm. I'm missing a leg. I looked everywhere. Where's the fucking leg? I might also be missing the head too, actually. Give humanic win. Use arm. Win. How did I do this earlier? Attach arm to mannequin. Yeah, I'm missing. Oh. I've searched everywhere though. There's nothing in here because this is where I found one of them. One was cool. One of them was outside. Check the baths. And there's nothing in here. Open door. Pleasant had apparently been built times before ensuite bathroom, sofa bed, competing pink, small desk provided. What is that? Opposite corner. And there's like yeah, there's nothing down here. I'm about ready to look it up because I swear I've looked everywhere for them. No, no, I didn't. But do I give him my drink or do I give him something else? Oh wait, I tried to take the wine earlier, but it wouldn't let me. So I could try and take the wine again. Yeah, yeah. Eh, Yeah, the first time I went to the wine cellar, I tried to take the wine and it wouldn't let me. Took the wine. Perhaps this would appease the drunken professor upstairs. There we go. Why couldn't I take it earlier?
They're already drunk and they want more wine.
Yes, yes, they do.
Okay, I mean, fair enough. I want to keep the butts going. Yes, many pets for the beautiful spooky wife.
Getting stuck on tables. Professor, where's he gone now? Uh-oh, his misery? That's not good. I honestly have no idea where he could have gone. Maybe he didn't go anywhere. Hey, Sushi, how goes? Oh god, no. He shifted. I'm doing well. Wait, is that? Look. Shahal. Abed's drunken misery had caused him to shift into the dark hotel. The jaunty man of whom I had grown fond lay decapitated on the floor. With Siobhan's disappearance, I was now truly alone. The professor had known nothing of the horror. He was blameless and ignorant of any matter involving Defoe Manor or a cursed idol, but it seemed my dark captor cared little for these facts. Oh my gosh. Oh, that felt good. Why haven't you killed me too, you skinny bastard? If you can do it so easily, so quickly, why won't you face me? In a display of a warped sense of humor, the porcelain head was sitting where Abed's old one had been. Take head. I pulled the head out of the stump, trying not to think about the wet cracking noise this caused. Okay, I'm still missing an arm. No, I'm missing a leg. I'm still missing a leg, I think. I swear I tried the office. I don't know if I tried it like this. I will leave and... Wait, is it up there? Oh my. I thought that was just part of it. I'm so silly. Drink. Cola. Took a swig of the beverage. I could almost feel the caffeine starting to heat up my brain. Yeah, I definitely went into that office both times, like when it was the bad hotel and the good hotel. And I thought that leg was just part of the stuff on the shelf. I looked specifically at the desk. I didn't look at the shelf. Attach leg. The body was intact. For reasons I couldn't explain, I sensed that something had changed back in the real world. What kind of ridiculous looking mechanism is this? Hey. Yeah, we need to get to the good hotel. So let's go over here. Like some peels. The view of the island was spectacular, but most of the roof seemed to be sectioned off by a metal fence. Just about the only feature within reach was a piece of paper held down by a stone. Ugh. Clanbrewin Island, July 28th, 1501. There's the date again. Dirty tree this, it took us from dawn to dusk. And it did the thing with the sound again. Took us from dawn to dusk, but we finally have it down. I'm tired, Father. Was indeed clever of us to investigate this island, eh, boy? I've never seen such a gigantic oak, nor do I expect to again. But its wood shall keep us in the business of carpentry for years to come. Father, look at those stones. Do you think there was once a house here? It matters not. Why must you always look everywhere but at what matters? This is your... Father? Is something troubling you, Father? Keels over and dies. Where am I? Why did it do it again? Oh my gosh, this game and its sound. I must have shifted into the dark world during the vision. Trilby. Siobhan? Oh, thank God, I thought I was all alone. What happened to you? I don't know. After you knocked me out of my room, I woke up and everything was like this. The hotel's ruined, there's blood everywhere? It's not this horrible man. Tall, thin, long black coat. You know him? Enough to know you're lucky to be alive. He didn't notice me, so I ran up here to hide. How did you get past the doll? What doll? Trilby, what the hell is going on? I told you what would happen if you followed me into the shadows. This isn't your problem. Take these. What are these? Tranquilizer pills. Take one. When you calm down, the hotel will go back to normal. Won't you need them? I don't need to run away anymore. Trilby, wait! Where are you going? I know enough now. I know where the wood came from. Perhaps I can find a way to end this. So I was right. The cursed wood came from Clanbrewin Island. But what good does that knowledge do me? Wait a second. I never got around to reading the letter I took from under that rock. Trilby, I am very close to ending this. Meet me in the hotel basement. I must show you my discovery. Lankman. The other page was another of those religious papers. The Book of Victims. Victim 1, the woodcutter. The first of those against whom the prince sought vengeance was the woodcutter, he who had held the axe that first felled the tree. The prince came to him and his son, and he struck the woodcutter down, and the woodcutter knew the name of the king. And the prince turned to the woodcutter's son, and he said, "You I shall let live, for you are young and are of the innocent, and that you may go among your people and tell them of what I will wrought." And the woodcutter's son fled and told all of what he had seen, but the men of technology are arrogant, and his words were unheeded. All right, what do I have? Lockpick wine, cola. Hey, yeah, so I can't go back to the good spot anymore. Um, we could take a quick look around, see if there's anything I can pick up. It's like, I don't know if I have what I need to finish this. Hmm. Mm. Going. I feel like I'm constantly getting stuck on just little random things. It doesn't look like there's anything here. Um, yeah, that's all the same. That hasn't changed. Whoops. There's nothing in here, it looks like. Uh, Looks like none of this has changed. And all of this is the same. Forward. Yeah, that's all the same. He doesn't have anything. nothing's changed here. I think I just need to go into the basement and hope for the best. I don't know if I'll still need meat for the roaches. Take meat. Take knife. Take knife. Oh, what the heck? Run away. Dug a hole in the foundations large enough to admit a man. Do I need to look? Hole. Holes seem to lead to some kind of tunnel that gradually expanded into an underground cavern. Climb hole. I did save recently, but I can do it again. I'm gonna do it again. Climb hole. Look. Tree. This was it. I was certain. The remains of the tree that Boyle and his father cut down. Its wood being later used to construct an inn, a harpsichord, a shipping crate, and an idol. I could feel that same scrabbling in my mind that I had felt just before all of my visions. This time, it was the stump itself that seemed to be beckoning me closer. Touch. Stump. Clamberwin Peninsula, July 28th, 55 BC. Abadath, a Celtic druid, awaits the return of his friend and colleague, Galdin? Galdn, I think that's what it says, who brings news of the invasion of Anglesey by the Roman Suetonius Pautinus. The Romans are being dicks again. I see. Having fallen out of favor with his fellows for certain radical beliefs and activities, Cabadath lives in solitude in this remote forest clearing and prefers not to travel himself. Cabadath, Calden, you bring news. The foreigners have landed. They could not be deterred by our sorcery. All is lost. Oh, certain are you? They are making their way across the land, eliminating resistance. Even you out here will be brought down within days. I'm sorry, Cabadath. And the great druids of Anglesey bow so easily to this brash foreign power. Do not hang your head yet, my friend. Perhaps the activities for which I was ostracized could yet spell an answer. What are you talking about? You know of my dealings with the ethereal realm. I know what you claim. That there exists some otherworldly territory populated by demons and creatures of magic. And that you, Cabadath, can somehow commune with these creatures. Come inside and I shall explain. Oh, why are you using black magic, you idiot? Oh, yep. Cabadath, what is this madness? In my dealings with the ethereal realm, I have learned of many powerful demons and elementals. But there is one spoken of only reluctantly, a beast possessing of awesome power. You plan to summon a demon? The most terrible of them all, who strikes fear into even the most unflappable creatures I have spoken with. A pain elemental. Indeed, the only pain elemental, ruler of a desolate wasteland where none venture. An invulnerable, hugely potent beast that feeds on the agony of others. And today is his day. The day when the boundaries between the realms weaken and he glimpses our world. 'Cause it's fun. It is not fun to use dark magic. This is why people are dying. This is bad. To bring him through at that point should be simple. Even if you could conjure such a thing, how would you have it defend our land? I have much knowledge in the ways of magic. With the correct bindings, any demon can be forced to my will. I completed the preparations while I waited for your return. All that remains is the summoning. Abidath, it pains me to see you build your hopes on such nonsense. Be silent and watch. You shall see your nonsense soon enough. In this hall of death, and by the light of Belenus's gift, I summon you. I bring you gifts to mark your path. I feed you with pain. I call you with madness. I summon you with the greatest loss, and I bind you by your true name. Chizo? By the gods. I have reached out to you through the void. Chizo. I command you by your true name. Show yourself. Abidath, please stop this. He did it again. Show yourself. It's huge. It is larger than I anticipated. Chizo must obey the rules of magic. It is bound. I can command it. That don't look... No. It is far more powerful than I thought. Galden, help me! Forgive me, Abidath. No! Galden, I beg you! Don't let it take me alive! This is your own goddamn fault. Chizo, of course, has no use for meat. It feeds on pain. It does not kill its prisoners. Abidath's agony was a particularly rare morsel, and Chizo ensured it would last. His soul was placed inside an oak sapling on the site of his old home to grant his body immortality. Wait, was Chizo's soul placed in the oak sapling, or was it Abidath's soul? For 5 centuries as the tree grew, he knew torment beyond even his most depraved imaginings. But by then, his body was warped and his mind long fallen into soulless dementia. He was Chizo's, utterly and completely his slave. Trilby! Siobhan, you were supposed to leave. I couldn't, Abed, the professor, he's dead. I know. He was killed by the shadows. Just like they will kill you if you don't get away from here. What is this place? This cave is the center of the reality shift. This stump is what's causing it all. How? It is the vessel for the soul of the tall man. The acolyte of Chizo. Linkman! Nice to see a friendly face. Amazing, isn't it? Of all the things Sir Roderick could have used to murder his son, he chose that idol. Placing the soul of John Defoe into the wood alongside Abidath. Infusing the poor retard with Chizo's magic, allowing him to come back infinitely more powerful than before. Certainly pretty lucky. Lucky? Chizo had to wait 2,000 years for that opportunity. The opportunity to blend magic and science in a single entity. The opportunity to create the bridge. What are you talking about? The bridge between the realms, over which Chizo will cross into our universe and purify mankind. Our order has waited 200 years for the prophecy to be fulfilled. You're not with the Ministry of Occultism. Who are you? 200 years ago, the prophet Jack Freehorn founded the Order of Blessed Agonies. Since then, we have grown and watched and waited. It was only in recent years that the events foretold in the Book of Chizo began to occur. It mentioned John Defoe, and it mentioned you. Me. You were the one prophesied to guide the Bridgekeeper to his destiny. But you didn't finish the job. All three aspects of John Defoe had to be destroyed to create the bridge: body, mind, and soul. You only destroyed his body. His soul and mind remained. Had I known about this, I wouldn't even have done that. That will truly disappoint my superiors. They were quite adamant that I should try to persuade you to join our cause and fulfill your foretold duty. Is that why you were helping me? They thought if I guided you through your visions and showed you the appropriate passages from our holy books, you'd understand that the prophecy is real. You honestly believed I'd join some insane cult just because you handed me some leaflets? Personally, no. A knife in my gut brought an explosion of ice-cold agony. I heard the pitter-patter of my blood on the rocky floor. Oh no. The pain, the surprise, and my exhaustion went together to cause immediate unconsciousness. Look. Come in? Oh good, you're awake. I was afraid you'd miss this. I did it again. What are you doing? After your staggering ineptitude in Defoe Manor, the Order need to nudge things along. We need a connection to Chizo to help administrate his coming. And today might be the only opportunity we have all year to summon the tall man. We're going to bring that thing into our world? With the standard ritual of blessed agonies and an offering. After he takes your life, he will be grateful to us. And then he will guide us to our destiny. So why did you stab me? What if I'm already dead by the time he gets here? You won't be. Men like you, Trilby, die on their own terms. They don't weakly let their life slip away from one measly knife wound. Hush now. A death is coming. Oh, look! Look! Take idol. Like, can you type hint and it'll give you a hint? My attempts to move only made things worse. I felt a stab of pain and something snapped behind my eyes, filling my vision with spots. Oh. Kill myself? Stab. Trilby. Do I need to die faster? Because I don't remember what I have in my inventory. Die? Not yet, but I was pretty close. Sushi, your power went out? Oh no. Take book. My arms and legs were limp and unresponsive. I couldn't move. Could see a small portion of the wavering cavern. Could see the idol of John Defoe on the stump beside me. Bloody waistcoat lying discarded in the corner. With my other senses, I could detect a presence of Siobhan and the redoubtable Linkman. The pain was now replaced with an ice-cold numbness that was spreading fast. The room was swimming before my eyes. Die faster. That didn't work. Just die. Right, just die. Just die. Nope. I can't just die. Dead. die. Move. Becoming harder and harder to breathe. Air rattled in and out of my lungs like a buzzsaw. Cutting up around the edges seemed like my stubborn will was the only thing keeping me alive. I died. I present thee with blessed agonies, body, mind, and soul. I present thee with the guide, failed in his duty for thee to judge. But I'm dead. I'm already dead, yo! Why is it not working? Master, please no. Trilby? I think it worked? Go back, Trilby. Leave me alone. I'm dead. Not yet, not fully. Your mind and soul are drifting apart from your own body. With enough power, there is still time to pull them back. But you must have the will to return. Forget it. I've had enough. I did the assignments. I made myself useful. I lived up to the reputation Defoe Manor gave me. Today I gave everything I could. I still died. There is still work to be done. You have not yet completed your duty. I'm sick of duty. I'm sick of prophecy. Just let me sleep. Hey, Rage. How goes? What have you been up to today? Stronger men than you have tried to fight destiny. None succeed. Past, present, and future are all different faces of the same die, and few can see them all at once. But I can, and the future demands that you live. Return now. I have marked the path. Chillin' mostly? I'm doing well, thank you. Just been a chill kinda day. Trying to play through this mostly. It's been interesting. They changed up the style for it though, so it's been like the style of gameplay. Please just let it end. Pleading to me is useless. I am just as much a prisoner of fate as you. The future your actions are destined to bring about has already taken place. Without your part, I would not be here to restore you to life. So you see, by my mere presence, your decision is already made. Who are you? A murderer and a madman, and a puppet of forces neither of us could possibly comprehend. Thank you, Rage. Trilby, say something. What? You're alive. God, I didn't even know if I was doing it properly. I did it. You're alive. Where's Lankman? That tall man took him. He did something horrible to him. And then he took him away. Where's my waistcoat? Don't talk. I've already called for an ambulance. Let's get you back upstairs. Wait. See that wooden idol? Yes? Bring it with us. Wrap it tightly enclosed and bring it with us. Don't let it touch your bare skin. Okay. How did you do that? You still have ropes on your legs. Oh, the girl? I have no idea. Because, yeah, she was tied up in the corner, so how did she get freed? Is she possessed by something? She's in on it. And now it sits across from me. It did it again. Turn this down again. The reality shift had cleared up and we were free to leave. An STP cleanup crew arrived with the ambulance. No trace of Abed or the hotel staff was found. Officially, they've been classified as unexplained disappearances. Lankman and the tall men seem to have also vanished, which does not surprise me in the least. Siobhan signed the official Secrets Act, and last I heard is staying with her parents to recuperate. Which just leaves me to write up my notes, with the idol that haunts my dreams gazing at me from across my desk. I was dead. I can't pretend I wasn't. No amount of CPR could have brought me back from where I was. So who did? The man in red? Who was he, if not an insane hallucination and brain death? Unimportant. I am alive and that's all that matters. Just that, and the destiny of this wretched statuette that I am apparently fated to carry out. Every instinct in my being wants to burn it to ashes and grind them into the dirt, but I do not. Lankman spoke of a prophecy, that the destruction of John Defoe's soul would somehow help him and his order summon their dark god. So if I destroy the idol, they win. But what else can I do? I certainly can't keep it. I know from experience that it leaks malevolent influence like a broken pipe leaks water. The only other option is to hide it. But where can I hide such a thing and ensure that it is never found again by human hands? I shall have to think about this. Trilby, 29/7/1997. Holy shit! Yeah. Oh, we really dodged a bullet. Because all of the shit in the hotel happened the day before, which was July 28th. Every single time all of the other suspicious murders, deaths happened. Oh, dodged a bullet there, Trilby. Oh. The fulfillment of the prophecy continues. The ritual for the summoning of Chizo will go ahead. Events have been set in motion that cannot be stopped. We have the blood of the guide. And now we must wait. Wait and prepare. The tall man looks pretty fucking cool. At this time, there came a man from the land of technology, and though his wisdom was great and his power would advance, he had the willfulness of his fellows, and so he was an arrogant man. I'm gonna need to pause the game in order to read these, or else it's gonna go by way too fast. And on the 8th and 20th day of the 7th month of the year of the arrogant man, the king gazed upon the land of technology and saw the arrogant man, who spake thus. O king, I beseech you, for this land has become corrupt without your benevolent hand, and the darkness seeks to envelop us all. I demand of you to cross the border between our lands and make things right, for my power is great, and I have it in my power to control one even as great as you. And the king was rightly amused, for while the arrogant man's power was indeed great, the king's power was greater still, and the king said, I will not submit myself, for firstly, my power is greater than yours, and not yours to command. Secondly, while my capabilities are many, it is impossible for me to enter the land of technology, for the border is a dark and treacherous ocean I cannot will away. But I will do this for you, O arrogant man, for all the bigness of your head, you are still smart enough to be spared the rigors of the dark ocean. I shall rescue you from the darkness in the land of technology, and you shall live in my household, and here you will learn humility. And as the king said it, so was it so. And the arrogant man crossed the ocean to the house of the king, where he was brought before his majesty, who said, "Now you must repay me for the slight your arrogance caused me, for despite your insult, I love you as I love every man and beast. And you must learn to take this love into your heart." Lord Ump. And the king took the body and mind of the arrogant man and separated them from his soul. And this he placed in a great tree in the land of technology. And with this action, he announced, "Now you are the tree, and the tree is you, and the wood is your soul. With this gift of separation, your body shall not wither or die throughout your lessons. But should any man interfere with the tree that is your soul on the day that is mine, I shall lend you the power to confront them and strike them down with fitting vengeance." And then he touched the arrogant man and filled his heart with his warming love. And the arrogant man became the prince, and he knew the name of the king. And the prince and the court of the king bowed down and wept and sang with great praise the name of the king, for great and generous was his wisdom. The Book of Chizo, Book of the Prince, Chapter 2. Okay, so Chizo is the king then. I don't remember hearing anything about the guide in the notes we found earlier. So then what does the... So we didn't really stop anything. It seems like... the guy we thought that was our friend, like someone we worked with, he thought he needed to sacrifice us, but it's because we were the guide. I don't know if we're still the guide. It could answer some things about the guide in the next one.
The guy.
I said guide.
I know. The guy.
I don't know. I don't know if Trilby's the guide. I don't know if someone else is the guide.
The guy.
Why are you...
Was that Spy Kids 3? Oh, what a bad
I don't
movie.
remember Spy Kids 3, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Whichever one, they end up in like a virtual reality and Elijah Wood shows up saying he's the guy.
I have no idea. I
Yeah,
honestly have
remember what I'm talking-
no...
That's fair.
No.
That's the only scene I remember, by the way. Elijah Wood showing up.
Okay. So, that was Trilby's notes. The third one in the Trilby series. So, excuse me. I am going to do the fourth one. Yes. I am going to do the fourth one tonight as well. Oh yes, it was definitely spoopy. Just even being in that hotel sometimes, it's like, is something gonna jump out and like scare the shit out of me? Because I thought for sure it would. Like, I was waiting for it to happen. Waiting. But yes, I am going to play the next one, but it is food time. So I'm gonna go eat first. We're gonna take our extended break for food, everyone. And then when I come back, we will continue on with the next one, which is 6 days. 6 days something. I don't remember the other half of the title. 6 days something. Yeah, see you in a bit, Sushi. I'm gonna go eat some food now, everyone. I will see you all later.